Pictures of plants with variegated leaves. Variegated foliage gives your plants interest even in the absence of flowers. An example is this red-twig dogwood bush with variegated foliage, Cornus alba elegantissima. This variegated shrub does bear flowers in spring, sometimes succeeded by berries, but it's valued more for its bicolored leaves, which you can enjoy for 3 seasons. It's hard to choose the best attribute of yellow archangel, Lamium galebdulin or Lamiastrum galebdulin. Is it the variegated foliage? Or is it the yellow flowers? Fortunately, we don't have to choose, although most like the two-toned leaves best, since they are more of a constant. Heucherella sweet tea has a leaf with a dark center and a lighter color on the perimeter. Heucherella is derived, both linguistically and botanically, from a cross of Heuchera and Tiarella. For most types of this perennial, the leaves are more interesting than the flowers. Sweet tea is no exception in this regard. The same can be said for one of the parents of Heucherella, Heuchera. Some sport golden leaves, such as Heucherella solar power. Hibiscus sugar tip is a rose of Sharon with variegated leaves. This rose of Sharon also produces double, pink flowers. Rose of Sharon is such a late blooming shrub, so you'll appreciate having the interesting leaves to enjoy all summer as you wait for the plant to bloom. Frosty Morn Stonecrop plant, sedum, bears bicolored leaves. The name derives from the white or frosty edging displayed on its leaf margins. Like other succulents, such as hen and chicks, this perennial tolerates low water conditions. Ribbon grass is a striped ornamental grass. Another is zebra grass. The difference? The stripes of zebra grass cut across the blade, horizontally. Man Hosta is one of several hosta plants that are variegated. Man Hosta plants' leaves are white around the edges, green at the center. These markings make Man, like H. Patriot, H. Francis Williams, and H. Franca, examples of so-called marginally variegated hostas. All are best grown in partial to full shade. Male kiwi vines bear small white flowers in spring, but the attraction in growing Actinidia colomicta Arctic beauty vines is their variegated foliage. As the leaves emerge in spring, they're green, but they soon pick up splotches of white. Even better, some leaves then develop pink tips. The coloration does, however, fade some as summer progresses. Rhaenyra macrophylla Jack Frost is a perennial plant with variegated leaves. The variegation of this Rhaenyra macrophylla plant, also known commonly as Siberian bugloss, takes the form of silver leaves with dark green veining, a nice contrast. Blue flowers are a favorite in the landscape, and Rhaenyra macrophylla Jack Frost produces a bunch of them in spring. Acer palmatum Harriet Waldman is one of the Japanese maples. Its leaves display 3 colors, pink, white, and green. It's the uppermost newest leaves that contain the most pink. Fall foliage will be yellow, orange, or red, depending upon conditions. Harriet Waldman Japanese maple eventually reaches a height of 15 feet tall. Joseph's coat plant Alternanthera ficoidea is a tropical plant grown for what is sometimes the intense second color that accompanies the green color in its leaves. For cultivars where that second color is intense, it will be orange, purple, or red. In other cultivars, it is a less intense brownish or coppery. Since Joseph's coat can be grown year-round only in zones 10 and 11, it is treated as an annual in the north, where its color explosion can be used to punch up window boxes and the like during the summertime. Snow on the mountain plant goes by a number of other common names, including bishop's weed and goutweed. Take the weed in those common names seriously, because snow on the mountain plant Agapodium podagraria will spread, but the variegatum cultivar is better behaved than the species plant. Some people value snow on the mountain as an option for a variegated flowering ground cover in zones 3 to 9. Its flower is white and reminds you of a scraggly version of Queen Anne's lace. Yellow loosestrife Lysomachia punctata Alexander is another perennial valued as much for its foliage as for its flower spikes. It is also commonly called Alexander's loosestrife. In late spring and early summer, when the plant blooms with yellow flowers, the foliage is white and green, but when the plant first emerges in spring, its leaves are a more interesting pink and green. Carol Mackie cultivar of Daphne Bush, Daphne experquity Carol Mackie, bears sweet-smelling flowers in spring, along with variegated foliage. Of the two qualities, its variegated leaves may be the more important, since they can be appreciated for the greater part of the year. Wolf-eyes dogwood, Cornus cosa wolf-eyes, is one of the Japanese dogwoods as opposed to the flowering dogwoods native to North America. It has variegated foliage and white flowers. The effect of so much white is dazzling when this tree is in bloom. Berries follow the blooms for a fall display, but the fall foliage of Cornus florida, flowering dogwood, is much better than that of wolf-eyes. There are various variegated euonymus shrubs, of which Moonshadow Euonymus is one. Emerald gaiety, Euonymus fortunae emerald gaiety, with its white and green variegation, is another. Moonshadow Euonymus fortunae moonshadow has green and gold leaves, with the gold in the center and the green on the margins. The leaves of emerald in gold Euonymus, Euonymus fortunae emerald in gold, are green on the inside, gold on the outside. As such, this small evergreen shrub is the opposite of the Moonshadow Euonymus, which is gold on the inside, green on the outside. The leaves on some of emerald in gold's new branches will revert back to a plain green color over time, a problem less likely to happen on Moonshadow. You should always prune off such green areas so that the energy of the plant goes into making more variegated leaves. We don't usually think of red salvia, Salvia splendens, as a variegated plant. A popular annual used as a bedding plant, red salvia is usually grown for its flowers, not its foliage. However, this gold-spotted variety qualifies as a prime foliage plant, meaning its red flowers are just a bonus. These nasturtiums, Tropaeolum spp, are another example of a variegated annual. We often think of nasturtiums as fall flowers. We sow their seeds in early June, and they bloom in early autumn. Their orange and yellow flowers fit in well with traditional fall color schemes. Nora Lee garden phlox, Phlox paniculata Nora Lee, has two-toned leaves, as well as two-toned flowers. The leaves of this garden phlox have green centers with white edges, while the flowers have a deep pink center, surrounded by a lighter pink color. This iris not only bears the beautiful flowers one expects from an iris but lovely leaves, too. Columbine plants are known for both their attractive foliage, clover-like when young, and pretty flowers, but variegated columbine, Aquilegia vulgaris woodside variegata, offers an even more interesting foliage than most types. Columbine flowers come in many colors, some are even bicolored. Columbines can have yellow, white, red, blue, purple, or pink blossoms. They can reach 2 feet in height, taller when in full bloom. Columbine plants bloom in late spring to early summer and reseed readily if you don't deadhead them. Living up to their name, tricolor sage plants, Salvia officinalis tricolor, display 3 colors. Other variegated plants also boast 3 colors, such as ornamental kiwi vines and Tricolor Beech. Unlike those other 2 tricolored plants, however, tricolor sage's 3rd color, after green and white, is purple, not pink. We usually think of beech trees, Fagus spp, as fall foliage trees. We don't think that much about their leaves until autumn. Not so with the tricolor beech. Look how boldly the green in the leaf stands out from the pink and white coloration. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more interesting videos. And please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm.